from the bench. Handed on across for control by Jason Clark. The outside now, Magdalena. Gave it back over to Plunkett. Had Dawson breaking. Gives on back now to Kahn. Boy, good double teaming work done on him, and a bouncer went wide. And that sound that the defenders love to hear.
And good job
of the clock.
Good job by Toronto to double team because it was late in the shot clock. The fifth Arizona forward had gone back, so they realized they could double team Kahn without taking a risk.
Now Toronto, Josh Sanderson. Little pass on to Doyle. Oh, and it's held out by Miron. Strong play there by the goalkeeper. Play delayed for a moment.
Now, it'll be interesting to watch. Toronto's weakness this season has been getting their offense to the bench, particularly in the second and fourth quarter, because it's a longer distance for the defense to run. Arizona could take advantage of that fast break because the guy coming off the Arizona bench is closer. And watch, Arizona will try to kill Toronto on that.
43 is Dirks. 3 goals in the second half, all on power plays. Full strength action now. Jason Clark with it, beats to Dirks, and a shot. Oh, did that ricochet in? It rattled off both posts, the right post and the crossbar, but stayed out, and play will continue. Brian Beazle for Toronto. The music is playing, but the crowd has gotten rather quiet here in a tight game in the fourth quarter. Chapman near the front, working on the outside though, and holding his Blaine Manning. Sherwood Park, Alberta product, shoots, he scores! What a shot!
Well, often in lacrosse, there's a big save or a big play in one end. This is the Arizona chance that hits a post, hits Watson's back, hits another post, but then watch this play up the floor. He switches hands. He's a right shooter. Blaine Manning takes this as a lefty. Great shot by Manning for his second goal of the game. Not all these players can shoot as accurately both ways. Blaine Manning played a lot of field lacrosse. In the U.S., he played St. Mary's High School in Maryland, where his team was the national champion. Then he went on to Radford University. He's really been a star in this league.
Had 90 points last year. That was enough to lead the team. It's Manning with it again. Couple of swats by Bruce Codd. Manning once more. Shoveled one in front. Codd got a piece of that. Manning right back in. Little shoulder hit there with Noah Talbot, and it's turned back over now for Bruce Codd to bring it on for Arizona. Codd moving ahead. Feeds one around in front. Oh, and a short side attempt by Mark Cochran was blocked away by Watson. Just over 12 minutes to go. Fourth quarter. The Rock by 3. Fed back on to John Rosen, the man who has gone longest without a title. This is Doyle, has 4, shoots, he scores! Doyle!
Colin Doyle, when he's hot, he's hot. Gets his 5th goal of the game. Just some nice, accurate shooting to the short side on Mike Miron. 8th point of the game. Colin Doyle, with a month left in the season, he was 4th in league scoring, 19 points behind John Grant. Scored 42 points in his next 5 games and is on that pace again. He's looking for his 3rd MVP in a championship game.
Most points in a championship game, Paul Gate, 11. Most goals, Paul Gate, 8. That was in a Philadelphia Buffalo championship game, 1994. Expiration of the shot clock. Just over 11 minutes to go in this fourth quarter. And the ball back over to Arizona. Terry Sanderson spoke of the atmosphere here and the build-up for this game, saying never in his wildest dreams would he have thought 5 years or so ago of a sold-out crowd here and of this kind of interest in lacrosse. That's starting to become North American in scope, not just Canada. Rosa brings it ahead. John Rosa, pound one in front, Doyle, a shot, and it's held off by Miron. Oh, that may be very large. Brought back ahead again by Scott Self. Native of Peterborough, Ontario, just holds. And then gave it over for Dirks. Dirks with a hot hand being defended by Derek Suddens. Circled the net. Magdalena, a shot, and it's shrugged away by Watson. Watson continues to rise to the occasion. The last 3 goals have been scored by the Rock. Rosa once more. Got Rusty Kruger circling around behind the net, hoping for a setup of some kind. Chapman at the front, jostled off as well. Manning in possession. Blaine Manning shakes it on back. Josh Sanderson with it there. Fed one in front. Score! Sandy Chapman! The crowd is alive again. It had been quiet. Chapman with a goal, 4th in a row by Toronto. They lead by 5.
Lacrosse is one of the most physically demanding sports, and the players need fast rehydration. Aquas Rapid Response Rehydration is one of the most effective rehydration products in the world. Designed for the U.S. military and validated by some of the world's leading rehydration scientists, Aquas provides superior rehydration through advanced technology for direct absorption into the bloodstream. When you need rehydration fast, drink Aquas, the official sport drink of the National Lacrosse League. Available at medlax.com.
It's all about the O, and the O is all about the clothes. Sometimes it's all about the outdoors. It's all about the office. It's all about the home and books, music, and videos. Then again, on occasion, it's all about the gold. Save on thousands of products at Overstock.com. It's all about the O.
To be the best, you have to learn from the best. How would you like to learn to shoot like Gary Gait? See the field like Ryan Boyle? Now you can. Through University Lacrosse, where hundreds of today's best players, coaches, and instructors are teaching high school players to be tomorrow's stars. Go to universitylacrosse.com and unleash the game.
The Edge NLL Championship game is brought to you by New Edge Advanced Shave Gels. Refresh your save. By University Lacrosse. Go to universitylacrosse.com and unleash the game. By the all-new midsize H3. Check out Hummer.com for more. And by Vonage, the broadband phone company. We've been taking a survey of you today. And the survey in this 5-goal Toronto lead says 56% of you feel that the Arizona Sting will win this game. Now, I know you always have had this expression, at least I've heard it a couple of times. 5 goals with 5 minutes to go can be made up.
Oh, yes. Oh, yes.
It is 5 with a little over 9.5 to go right now.
Both of these teams have done it.
Well, Jim Feltman feeds it across. Off the bounce, it is Manning. Matt Shearer is nearby. Drifts off near Manning as they play to the outside now to Wilson, then Josh Sanderson. Wilson for Manning again. A very strong left side on the attack for Toronto. Manning fed in front. Oh, and Wilson hit the post with a shot. Josh Sanderson back across to Doyle. He's got 5 in the game. The league MVP, and the record is 8. Few records are held by anybody other than Paul Gate or Gary. Oh, and a steal here is trouble for Josh Sanderson, and it's brought back ahead by Peter Locke. Arizona on the attack. Locke feeding it across. Hard shot by Codd, and that one stopped by Bob Watson.
Bob Watson has not been beaten 12 minutes. Arizona had a good run. 12 minutes and 18 seconds. Arizona was looking good in that third quarter, but Bob Watson, you have to give him a lot of credit.
A 28-minute stretch against Rochester with only one goal given up in that time. Shot by Wilson, deflected away. Right out in front comes Manning again. Worked over pretty well. It's tangled up in legs. Swinging at it, trying to get it loose is Darrell Gibson, and they succeed as the shot clock expires and the ball goes back to Arizona. Clock ticks down now to the final 8 minutes of regulation time. The deficit for the Sting is 5. This is Self. Connecting now with Dawson. Dan Dawson, little pick set there by Craig Kahn. Dawson shoots, and that rocket went wide. And he's stripped of his stick, so the ball goes careening back. And they will rule that it's Arizona's ball.
Toronto is playing some excellent 5-on-5 defense. They've always been strong in the 5-on-5 game as well as the specialty teams.
Turn back over to Arizona. They hurry, they might get a 2-on-1 out of this. It's Peter Locke feeding it across. Oh, and checked from behind was Noah Talbot. And it's brought back by the Rock. Under 7.5 to go.
Great effort by Patrick Merrill on the stick check as he ran back.
Josh Sanderson shoots one that ricocheted off Self. Sanderson over and Self defends him and presses him to the glass. Picked up by Bruce Codd. Nice little feed, and so Arizona can move right back on the attack. Peter Beltman moving back in with it. Here's Beltman feeding one across that's deflected away, and it is Sanderson with a strong play defensively there. Phil Sanderson is trying to march to the front, unable to do so. Was Magdalena.
Great stick check by Phil Sanderson. Just totally great play. He intercepted that ball or knocked it loose on the 3-on-1, then makes a nice stick check on Magdalena.
Ladisor to the bench. Out is Matt Shear. Has a couple in the game today. His team by 5. Chased off as Chapman, but he's right back again. Chapman once more shoots one, and that one blocked down, and is brought right back on the rush by Arizona. Sting on the attack. That one knocked away from Darrell Gibson. Nice scoop by Bob Watson. Long outlet pass to Jim Beltman. Lobs it ahead, and fresh from the bench. Settling things down a little bit here is Rusty Kruger.
Again, another great stick check by a Toronto defender. Patrick Merrill again getting his stick on Gibson.
Moving right around in front and shooting one and scoring that time for Toronto to make it a 6-goal lead. Biggest of the day is Blaine Manning.
We talked about Manning. 3 goals in the second half, none in the first half. He's picked it up a notch.
The advantage now is 6. Just over 5 minutes to go. 5:49 to go in the fourth quarter. The Rock by half a dozen.
Have you heard about the amazing new format of Inside Lacrosse magazine? What about the upgraded and relaunched version of InsideLacrosse.com? The game of lacrosse is exploding, and so is its premier source for news and information, analysis, editorials, amazing photos, and groundbreaking features. Whether you're a player, a parent, a coach, or a fan new to the game, there's no better way to follow the sport than with a subscription to Inside Lacrosse. 11 packed issues for just $34.95. Call today or log on to InsideLacrosse.com.
Ready to go? When your afternoon needs a lift, drop into Dunkin' Donuts for a new refreshing chocolate banana flavored iced latte made with real espresso. Dunkin' Donuts. Bring yourself back.
Can't find my foot. I Can't find my foot. Can't find my foot.
Can you help me? Gotcha.
The magic of nighttime works better out here. Go on, pursue your passions. Go RVing. Call for a free video and visit an RV dealer.
Tuesday at 9/8 Central, a 2-hour SVU event.
You got a Hannibal Lecter running around?
Somebody's dealing in body parts.
You want the surgeon who's performing the transplants.
Guess who's helping Dr. Frankenstein? Marlee Matlin guest stars in a 2-hour SVU, NBC Tuesday.
Toronto by 6. Will they hold this Champions Cup? They're looking good so far, but this is against Arizona, the comeback team. Downstairs to Mark Morgan.
Mike, thank you very much. And with Blaine Manning. Blaine, you've been part of this offensive surge for your team, but what's been more important? I know the goals are big, but what about Bob Watson in net?
He's started out a little shaky. He's been unbelievable. He hasn't let a goal in probably 16, 17 minutes plus, making great saves. He's unbelievable.
Quickly, how do you keep the focus now with this lead and play this thing out?
We've got to keep working hard. Get off the floor, let our defense win this for us.
Mike?
Thank you. No goals by Arizona in the last 15 minutes and change. An impressive run by Toronto defensively and by their goalkeeper, Bob Watson. More often than not, goalkeepers are the MVPs, but on such an impressive day offensively, really for both teams, but particularly for Toronto, it's hard to imagine that will be taken away and given to a defensive player.
Absolutely right. In the 18 previous championship games, the goaltender has won the MVP 8 times. That's not going to happen today. We've also got, sorry, Doc, we've got 4 multiple winners of the MVP. Colin Doyle's won it twice, Dallas Elliott twice, John Tavares twice, Gary Gait twice. We might see the way Colin Doyle's performed a 3rd time.
That's your vote?
So far, 5 goals, 3 assists.
He has it now. Doyle is shot and getting a piece of it with his left hand. That time was the goalkeeper, Mike Miron. Fresh shot clock. Plenty of time for Toronto to work, but this one just tossed back in, and so it eventually goes to Arizona.
They actually reset the shot clock late for Josh Anderson. He thought there was a couple seconds left and threw it away.
Tomorrow down to the Sweet 16 on the National Heads Up Poker Championship. That's tomorrow at 12 Eastern, 3 Pacific, only on NBC. And around with it now is Jonas Dirks. Fed it across, Clark a shot, and that turned aside by Watson. Remarkable play by Watson. Have the votes been taken yet? He's been terrific.
Absolutely right. He has been terrific.
Rosa again with the clock winking down to the final 4 minutes. Regulation time, 4th quarter. Sellout crowd, largest crowd in the history of the National Lacrosse League to see a game. The previous high also here against Philadelphia, but that didn't turn out well for the Rock that day. Their 2 championship wins at home were at Old Maple Leaf Gardens. But the one time they had Philadelphia here, they lost.
And Toronto is playing very smart at this point. They know they don't have to push for more goals. They only had 4 people on the offense. They put NLL on defense early there.
Oh, an attempt by Clark fails. Fresh shot clock. Plenty of time now for Toronto as it's down around 3:20 now.
And you can see the game plan for Toronto is to eat up the clock. Dan Ladouceur had a 3-on-1 there, and he held up the ball for his teammates to get on. They want to try to use 30 seconds on every possession and take away the fast break. They'll go to the bench early.
Little feet in front by Kruger is picked off and started right back ahead by Bruce Codd. Codd has a pass ahead for Cochran. Bounced off him. Can be followed up, though, by Peter Locke. Locke a shot. Save Watson. Rebound. Another save! Made by Watson on Mark Cochran. That might be it. 2 3/4 minutes to go, and the deficit is 6.
Well, Bob Watson's putting up an argument for the goaltender to win the MVP again.
It is now for Sandy Chapman. Very deliberate Chapman. Defended by a couple. The clock the enemy of the Sting right now. Toronto will take that. 2:21 to go. Play halted here. 2 minutes and 21 seconds away. These people think they're going to be starting a party. Will they? We will see when we come back. It's the Rock 17 and the Sting 11. Let's take a look at our Subway goal of the game, Brian.
Well, this was Colin Doyle's second goal of the game in the second quarter. This gave Toronto a 7-6 lead. Going to the net hard for the rebound, and they haven't looked back since. He went on to score 3 more. Got 5 goals, 3 assists for 8 points, and that Century Club we talked about has performed.
Net empty. Miron at the bench for Arizona. The deficit 6, the time 2:21 to go. Mike had 42 today. Watson 32. Watsons have come at very key times here when Arizona was trying to rally. Dawson brings it ahead. It's given to Bomberry. Hard shot, and it skipped wide. Bomberry hustles to try and chase it down. Net empty. The bouncer came across. Pulling free is Driscoll. Oh, and it went off the crossbar. Chugging right back to the bench, having come off very quickly. Bob Watson faces a shot, and it goes over his shoulder and in. Pat Magdalena. The difference is 5, 1:56 to go.
And we talked about Mike Miron, 265 pounds. That's not him running back and forth to the net. That's backup goalie Kenny Montour. He's slimmer and quicker, runs to the net, makes the save, sprints back to the bench. And Arizona scores the goal to keep their hopes alive, but they're going to have to win every loose ball, pull their goalie every time.
Net empty again. Bringing it on is Chris Seller. Now it's fed in deep. They want to pull the trigger quickly. Bomberry's the guy, hands it across, shot, score! Another goal! And the difference is 4. Pat Magdalena with back-to-back goals to get his team back to within 4 with 99 seconds to go in regulation.
Every face-off is going to be absolutely crucial. And they picked up the ball there, and Magdalena's got the hot hand. And Toronto's calling the timeout, Doc.
You can't blame them here. Terry Sanderson doesn't want to see happen what has happened in Arizona's history so many times. They have come rushing back. But it has to be perfect now.
Well,
like you said,
everything has to go right. They have to win. They have to score quickly. There's one man who's hoping there's no miracle comeback. He wants to take his name off that list as the player who's played the longest without winning a championship.
Talked to him before the game. He has a great sense of humor about this.
Oh.
We've had plenty of time to look up statistics over the last 2 weeks, knowing that they're not going to change. And I think the players are tired of it because it's so much meringue before they finally drop a ball and get a game started, as this Champions Cup game did over 2 hours ago. But this ball is won over to Jim Veltman with a shot. He scores! Jim Veltman en route to his 8th championship.
There's a proud dad. Jim Veltman's dad Jim's picked up his 17th loose ball. This guy is amazing, but it's a good face-off by Patrick Merrill. Went straight to Jim Veltman. That was one of his easier ones.
When he's not playing lacrosse, a teacher. These men have work like that they do. Veltman again, an empty net goal for Veltman. And the party can get started. 1:18 to go and a 6-goal advantage for the Rock. It starts in early January. Training on their own. Many of them flying just for home games. Allowed 2 hours of practice a week so that there's not an unfair advantage for some teams. But it all culminates in what they want to do, and that's hold that trophy that weighs 35 pounds. And Toronto has gotten used to picking it up.
And with the change in the coaching staff of Toronto, Terry Sanderson made some changes to this team. He actually got criticized by quite a few people when he made the big trade that brought his son and nephew to the team. But these two guys, Phil and Josh Sanderson, has proven that Terry was doesn't pick them because he was related to them. Both these guys have been huge parts.
Magdalena's skipper hit the post. Sailed out of play again. The Sting hustle a goaltender back on. It's Montour. You see the towels. 19,400 plus. Largest crowd ever. Getting ready to celebrate number 5. All over but the shouting. Let's hear some of that. For the 5th time in their 7-year history, the Toronto Rock have won the Champions Cup in the mob scene. Championship won at Maple Leaf Gardens was by these guys. The first one, cross town at Air Canada Centre, same team. Downstairs to Mark Morgan.
Mike, thank you very much. It's a wild scene. I'm standing with Colin Doyle. First of all, is there any way to describe how this feels?
There isn't. We earned this one so bad. I wanted to win with these guys so bad. It feels so great, man. The feeling of elation it's amazing. It really is.
You guys retooled this team in the offseason. A lot of people said, you know what? They're not going to be as good. Well, guess what? You were.
We brought in some great guys. We got a great coach, a great training staff. We got a great everything, and I'm proud to be a part of this team.
You've been voted the MVP. Add that to your regular season MVP. What about that?
I don't know, man. I wanted the championship. Everything else is window dressing. I really wanted this championship.
Congratulations. Great effort.
Thank you so much.
All right, Mike, let's go back up to you for a second.
The rookie year of Colin Doyle was 1998 with a team in Hamilton called the Ontario Raiders. Franchise sold and moved here. He has been with it all 8 years.
What a dream season he has had this year, and none of it would have counted for him or mattered much without the championship. The leading scorer, the Hummer MVP of the regular season, and now this championship to go along with the MVP of the championship game. What a season.
Commissioner Jim Jennings will be eventually making a presentation of the Champions Cup trophy. By the end of a day, when you've worked so hard and run so far, estimated at a couple of miles,